Have you ever wondered how a kid from Ohio, of all places, goes from Vine star to Disney kid to rapper to entrepreneur to now the face of the sport of boxing, ultimately amassing him a net worth in the hundreds of millions? In the social media age, whether you like him or not, there may be no greater genius than that of Jake Paul. And in today's video, we are going to be doing a deep dive into his story and ultimately explain throughout that story, especially leading up until today, how he has played and fooled the entire world into feeding his empire. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's go.
Jake Paul grew up in a small town in Ohio. I know you brain rot enthusiasts are going to absolutely love to hear that one, but it was a relatively normal upbringing in a Christian household where him and his now also famous brother Logan ran the show. A lot of people know that the brothers have a background in wrestling, Logan being the better of the two. Some might not know though, apparently Jake had NFL aspirations. He was looking to become the next Tom Brady, and also must have been inspired by the likes of David Goggins. Apparently he wanted to become a Navy SEAL. That's right, this guy was looking to become one of the hardest dudes on the planet. All of the childhood dreams, NFL star, college wrestler, Navy SEAL, went out the window though with the coming of an app that most kids these days do not know the greatness of: Vine. Him and his brother started to post, I don't even know how you would describe this type of content, like teenage cringe humor on this app.
Can we get 2 tickets to paradise? Or do you not sell them?
Anyways, Jake specifically blew his account up to 1 million followers within the first 5 months, continued to grow his personal brand with this type of content.
For Narnia! For Narnia! Come on, we got to go!
By the time Vine unfortunately dies, he was at nearly 5 million followers and 2 billion views. And since Vine was dead, it was time for new ventures.
What's up, daily vlog? Starting them up again. Here we go.
And naturally, the life of a content creator almost always involves a YouTube channel at some point. Jake carrying over his Vine audience to the platform for pranks, controversies, and shitty music.
I got my truck, my overall, just me and my boys making fried chicken, y'all.
The YouTube channel, like the Vine channel, through the obsession that the world has with stupidity, brought in a lot of success and eyes on Jake, so much so that it caught the attention of Disney Channel, and Disney recruited him for a show called Bizaardvark, and it was at this very moment that we knew Disney Channel was cooked.
Who's that?
Little Sheldon here is your friend, aren't you, Sheldon?
What did he say? I don't trust him.
His role as a daredevil didn't last too long. He was actually kicked off of the show for being a public nuisance off the set, apparently. Surprise, surprise. So it was back to the drawing board and content creation. He launched a content creator group, or a content house, really the first of its kind. It was called Team 10. Who knows what any of these people are doing in today's world? They were making a great decision choosing Jake as their leader, especially when they dropped this banger.
Y'all can't handle this. But I'm from Ohio, though, white boy. It's every day, bro, with the Disney Channel flow. And they're coming with the crew. This is Team 10, bitch. Who the hell up sipping you?
It's one of the most disliked YouTube videos of all time, but did hit the Billboard Top 100 hits at one point, and even earned a Gucci Mane remix.
Every day I wake up and get it, that's just me. If I don't grind, then I don't eat, cause ain't shit coming free.
With the success, you can call it, or just views, regardless if it's good or bad publicity, he really started to focus on music for a bit, to the dismay of our eardrums.
Get it, fuck Jake Paul. Let me tell y'all about this fuck Jake Paul. Fake white, fake life, no talent at all.
Now it's at this point where Jake really starts to figure out that you can get people to like you, or you can get people to greatly dislike you and everything that you do, so much so that they will do and pay anything to see you fail. Enter the world of influencer boxing. Influencer boxing really started with KSI and Joe Weller in a fight way back when, and KSI had no idea that his callouts of two brothers would take it to a whole nother level for years to come.
If any YouTuber wants it, you can come get it. Jake Paul Jake Paul, Logan Paul, any of the Pauls, I don't care. Bring it.
This call out set up a fight between KSI and Logan Paul, and then also Jake Paul and KSI's younger brother Deji on that same card. And the boxing gloves haven't left Jake's hands since this win. Obviously, influencer boxing was picking up steam, raking in some money for them, so why not give it another few goes with fellow content creator Anisan Gibb and former NBA player Nate Robinson. Now, side note, Jake wins these fights, but from here on out, all of his matches and the former 2 matches with Gibb and Nate Robinson, they're all professional matches, which just rubs me the wrong way. He's fighting YouTubers, content creators, he's fighting NBA players. How are these professional matches? The sport of boxing, like real boxing, like how much of a joke can you be? Nonetheless, he ventures into MMA fighters with Ben Askren and Tyron Woodley, who both fought in the UFC. I'd say this is when he started to become big time, like mainstream fighting dudes that weren't boxers, but he'd tell you that he was the best boxer on the planet. People would tune in hoping he got knocked out, and he ends up on the victor's side with some pretty vicious highlight reel KOs, which in the era of social media clips definitely gave him an extra boost. This is also where you start to have people questioning the integrity of these fights. Are they rigging fights? Are they paying guys millions to step in with Jake and take a beating? Whether or not that you believe that they are fake or not, it's getting you talking, and that's exactly what he wants. It's tough to argue the integrity of this next fight, though. You can't really say that it was rigged, or at least you can't say that it was too rigged, because Jake ends up taking his first L to Love Island star Tommy Fury, who is actually related to boxing legend Tyson Fury. It's his brother. It was also his first semi-real boxer that Jake has fought, which was another knock on him that people get so pissed about, that he's fighting dudes off the street with no experience. Again, it's getting people riled up, it's getting people angry at him. Exactly what he wants. So Jake takes his loss, the world rejoices, and there seemed to be, for a little bit of time, a decline in the attention that Jake was getting. He fights MMA legend Nate Diaz and a couple of no-names, Ryan Borland and Mike Perry, picking up wins in each. And then Jake turns to one of the greatest boxers of all time. That's right, he's finally fighting a legendary boxer, a real boxer, but this time the catch is that he's almost 60 years old. That's right, Jake called out and planned a fight against Mike Tyson, a legend of the sport. The fight was originally postponed due to Tyson getting injured, or he was unhealthy, or was just flat out old, and rescheduled in November of 2024 live on Netflix. This was really the culmination of everything that we've talked about so far. The genius of Jake Paul, it was all leading up to this very moment and this fight. He was a cringe content creator. People even hated his stupid face and videos back then. He turned to boxing and really started to get the people going, whether it was his insane ego or fighting non-boxers or fighting old people or rigging fights. Everyone wanted and still wants to see this guy lose, and who better to knock him out than the icon that is Mike Tyson. With this in mind, people had no choice but to tune in to the fight on Netflix. It actually reached 65 million concurrent streams at one point. $40 million was the reward for Jake, even though he'll probably tell you that it was more like 140 million.
Is it true that you made $170 million from this fight?
The most money I've made ever.
And it's not like the fight was even that great. Tyson came out hot, but then cooled down and let Jake take over, really, which again sparked the same loop of, is Jake rigging fights? Did he just play the entire world? Either way, with those numbers I just listed off a bit ago, you cannot argue that this man is not a marketing genius. He turned it all into his own fight promotion business, appearances on Forbes' highest paid athlete lists, his own venture capital fund, and recently a personal care brand called W. By the way, let me know if you've actually smelled this. I feel like it might be a knockoff version of Axe, and middle schoolers are going to poison us in locker rooms around the world like they have been for so many years with Axe.
Today, I'm putting on 5 cans of Axe spray to make sure everyone knows I smell great.
But either way, from being a cringe Vine star to a hated YouTuber to egotistical influencer boxer, as a wise man once said, love me or hate me, you still watched. And speaking of watching, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoy it, please feel free to hit that subscribe button. Also, please feel free to comment below your thoughts on this video, if you think Jake Paul is a genius or not. Was everything that I just said in this video the dumbest thing that you ever heard? And feel free to comment some ideas for future videos of mine. What would you guys like to see? I'll leave a couple of my latest YouTube videos beside me here if you want to keep this train rolling. But anyways, hope you have a blessed day. Goodbye now.